Brian with Midwest Washing Equipment. We build, we're a shop. We build exterior cleaning systems, trailers, truck skids. This is 98% of what we do.
Sweet. Awesome, dude. So
this is your rig.
Dude, this is awesome, man. Nice work.
Thanks.
This is great. And you still have a ton of room right there as well.
Yep.
This is, what is this, 6 or
12 foot.
12 foot?
6.5 by 12.
There it is, man. Perfect.
Big text.
Yep. That's a solid tube too, man.
All right, so this is all right.
We'll start from the front here.
Okay.
This is your Softwash pump. Gas powered. It's an AR45. So it's about 11 gallons a minute, 290 psi. That is adjustable right here with your regulator.
The PSI is.
Yep.
Do you ever want to adjust it generally? Is this more okay, never mind. I see.
Yep. So
that's all.
Normally you'll go all the way down and then back it off at least a half a turn.
Okay.
Okay. Here's your pressure gauge.
Okay.
Don't be surprised if this leaks in a few weeks.
Why is that?
It's brass. And
what is that fluid in there for?
well, that's glycerin.
Oh.
So I'm saying leaks back here.
Oh, okay.
It's a problem with all of them.
Is that an issue or what
you
do
can
I?
pull it out and plug it,
Okay.
or just get a hold of me and we'll send you a stainless steel one.
Interesting. Okay.
Yep. So
Why wouldn't you just put a stainless steel in it to begin with, or that's just how they come?
this is how they come.
Gotcha.
Yep. Yep. And sometimes people don't have any issues. Sometimes they do. So.
Would that stop it from actually working,
No,
or it's
no.
just the gauge itself?
It's just the gauge. So
Okay.
you don't ever want to run in the red. You want to keep it in the yellow or below.
And so by adjusting this would keep me down?
That's right. That's
okay.
right.
Gotcha.
This lever needs to be pointed in this position for running. There's no reason to put it into this position.
What does that do? Turn it off?
It puts it into bypass. So if you were actually pulling from a batch tank or mixed tank, it would send it back to the tank.
Which we're not batch.
We're not doing that. Not at all. No, sir. So
Okay.
it'll run right there. Okay. With your pull start,
Okay.
got on off right there.
Yep.
With your choke is over here. Yep. One pull, it fires right up.
Okay, and I can just leave the fuel line on.
Yeah.
And the choke's on right now.
It'll be pulled towards you.
Towards
it's on.
me.
Yep.
There's choke, and then you turn it off once
That's
it
right.
gets warm.
That's right. So, everything fires up. We've tested everything.
Okay.
We did not run water through the tanks or the hoses because of the weather and where you're headed
Okay.
back home. We did run RV Winterizer through that pump, and there's a little bit in that tank, and there's also Winterizer in this pump as
Okay.
well. Okay. So.
Now, maintenance on this. Is it just changing out the oil for the pump?
Correct. And the engine oil.
Okay.
This oil, this is for the pump, obviously. This is going to get murky after a while.
After how long?
Probably
Keep an eye on it.
Few uses. That's
start-
just from the break-in.
Okay.
Yep. So that oil is not, it's just like your engine oil. It's
So
not going to stay nice and clean looking.
Gotcha.
So don't freak out when you look at this and it's all
Black.
So that's
like this one right here.
Okay, yeah. So that's just not an indication that it needs to be changed. It's
No.
just the natural color of it.
Correct. Correct. This, and you can see we have a problem with this pressure gauge. This is the stainless steel one.
Now, as far as the pressure gauge, when would it ever get to that if it's like fully, does it?
You run this cranked all the way down,
It'll get
you're
to
going to
the
run
red.
in the red.
Okay.
You want to stay out of the red.
Stay in the green.
Yep, that's right.
Right in the middle of the green.
Yep.
Ish. Right.
You're not going to see any performance difference from 290 psi down to about 200 psi.
Okay.
That performance is still going to be the same.
Okay.
And if you look, I don't have one out, but other pumps like this, they don't even have a pressure gauge on them.
Gotcha. Okay.
So we leave it here because it's
nice to have.
It's nice to have, but sometimes people get a little caught up in, oh my gosh, it's running 2 psi less than it usually is.
Right.
That can be just wear on the pump. You want to focus on what you're getting paid for, right?
Right.
Unless there's if there's a dramatic drop, then yeah, there's an
You
issue.
got an issue.
Yeah, and which usually that's a leak. So the way that this Softwash pump works This is your inlet, right? This is your bypass line. This is your outlet to the hose reel. In the back, you'll leave this open all the time.
That's water again, right?
That's the outlet to the hose
Outlet
reel.
to the hose
Yep,
reel.
so leave her open. Okay? So everything runs through your metering system right here. This first valve is your water valve.
Okay.
You're going to leave it 99% of the time, it's going to be right like it is, 100% open.
Okay.
This is your soap valve or
Yep.
surfactant that goes in this tank here.
Okay.
Right? And it will run right at about 1. Here is when it'll start pulling soap. And
Gotcha.
most surfactants, you're going to be right around the 1, in between the 1 or the 2.
Oh, I see.
See the little
So you
green
pretty
numbers?
much just can keep the soap. Assume. I mean, where else? I mean, you're gonna keep. We're doing mainly house washing, so
Yeah.
you're keeping it the same. What would be the different? Would you use? No, that would be into the bleach.
If you wanted it thicker, for the soap or the surfactant, if you wanted it thicker or so it would cling more, stick
Just
to the
open it
surface,
up.
you would open it up more.
Yeah. Okay.
But be careful
generally
because
between
you-
1 and 2.
Yeah, right. Be careful because you'll burn through it too
Yeah.
if you don't watch it.
Right.
All right, and then this third one, like you said, this is your bleach. So if you're going to wash a house, you're going to be somewhere around a 1 or a 2, and it's marked on there.
Yep.
If you're going over and doing a roof, you're going to crank that dude up to
Wow.
3 or 4 or 5 even.
So a really, really, really dirty roof.
Now, you probably noticed the red lines here on your water valve.
Yes.
That is if you're running a really, really light bleach mix and it doesn't seem like it's pulling any. You'll
Shut off
close
the
this
water a little
valve a little bit and then it'll make it start pulling over
Yeah.
here, right?
So this is called the proportioner. This is how you make. Okay. Cool. All right.
Actually, ours is a hydro mixer.
Hydro mixer.
And I only say that because the proportioner, that's the other guys. And
I didn't realize that
that
was
is
a brand
their-
name.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yep, it
So
sure
it's a
is.
hydro mixer.
Yep.
But it mixes chemicals
Right.
and water.
The way that this works, proportioning system.
Yes.
So that's where they got proportioner from.
Right.
It's from
That's
proportioning
what,
system.
that's what I was going for. It's a
Gotcha.
proportioning system.
Hydro mixer sounds better.
It is way better.
Thanks, thank you. And the XL, right?
That's right.
So, but the way that these work, these pumps work, everything works on suction or vacuum. So, this is your pump inlet hose, this big ass hose right here.
Yeah.
So it's sucking. So it's sucking all these 3 products
Yep.
through here and out that way.
Into there and then out there yellow.
Yep. This is your bypass hose. So when the engine's running, the pump's running, but you're not pulling the trigger, the water is recirculating through this long hose right back to the pump and then making another pass right through the manifold.
Just getting ready to get used.
You can let it run like that for up to 10 minutes max. Any longer than that, you need to shut it off.
Shut the,
Shut the pump down.
because that would, what does that
Generate
ruin?
heat,
Yeah.
Burns it up.
generates pressure, which will cause problems.
Burn it up.
Yep, in the long run. Okay.
Okay.
You upgraded yours to the remote system.
Oh yeah, I forgot
Remember?
about that. Cool.
So all your electronics, your electric valves are on the back side here.
Okay.
There's nothing for you to do back here, but just so that you know, this is your soap valve
Yep.
that turns the soap on and off.
Okay.
And this is your bleach valve that switches it from bleach to water.
Oh.
So what this valve controls what comes through this valve in the front.
Gotcha. And then this one controls this one.
Just, this one turns.
Oh, this is the soap. Sorry. Yep.
This
Okay.
one turns the soap on and off.
Cool.
Okay? So theoretically, you can leave it. Say you like your house washes that, you're going to go out for the day and you're going to do all house washes.
Yep.
You put your soap at 1.5. You put your bleach at close to 2%. 1.5%. And water's wide open. And excuse me, I'll
Go
come
ahead.
up here. You got 2 remotes.
Okay.
They're both already programmed. So when you're ready to wash, hit the on button.
Okay.
So you're applying bleach and soap.
Not
Do your
hold,
thing.
just push.
Just push it.
Yep.
And then when you're done and you want to switch over to rinsing it, because remember you can rinse with this
Yeah.
pump too.
Yep.
Just hit off. And it kills your soap and switches your bleach over.
So
to water.
literally that just applies my cleaning solution. When
Yep.
I want it on, click
Yep.
on. When I'm done rinsing, or when I'm done applying the cleaning solution, turn it off, rinse it, go on.
Yep.
Sweet.
So tight.
Roll it up, get on down the
Dude,
road.
so tight. Okay, that's awesome. I'm
This
so
is-
excited.
This is the system. This pump or the Comet Pumps. And that setup right there are the systems where guys are going out and they're washing, one-man show are washing houses in 45 minutes.
Easily.
In and out.
Easily.
We had a guy, a local guy, well, sort of local, northern Indiana. He got a truck skid just like this from us last summer. And the second day he had it, he called me in the afternoon about 2 o'clock and said, I'm on my 4th house wash of the day.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah. Softwash hose rig.
Yes.
You got a lock right here. It's not locked right now.
Yep.
You got a parking spot for your hose, so it's not flapping, dragging down the road behind you. And then your self-wash bin.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Is this guy right here.
Nice.
Poly trigger, stainless steel.
Check it out.
Quick connect. And called a J-rod.
Yep.
Gives you your. What we do on these is we give you a 0 degree.
Yep.
A long range and a short range, or a high flow and a low flow, and then a fan that's high flow and low flow.
Yep.
That goes
Cool,
in.
man.
Yep.
Now, can I use other tips to pull soap, or is this the only thing that will pull the soap?
This is on the Softwash.
Yeah, I know.
So you're pulling what's through this.
Okay.
So on the
this, no matter what, my question is I really like. Have you ever seen an X-Jet tip? Mm-hmm. So and then
adjustable, right?
Yeah, well, I used to use. Yep, it's adjustable. It's an adjustable tip.
What you want to do is make sure that the orifice size is at least a number 30. Summit hose reels, aluminum frames, stainless steel internals, and that's true for all the hose reels. We don't go cheap on your pressure wash or your water tank fill hose. They're all matching.
Awesome.
This is just a little locking mechanism. That's cool. That's very
You
cool.
can park your hose there, pull that in, it'll catch
There,
it.
lock them.
Yep. And this is a friction brake right here. So if you don't like it freewheeling as much, you can tighten this right here.
This nut and bolt right here.
Yep.
Okay.
Gives you a little more resistance as you're pulling it.
Exactly. Exactly. Down here's your high pressure hose. You got 200 feet of it. There's 2 100-foot sections on here.
Okay.
So if you blow one, you just take it off.
Sure.
Quick connect back in, off you go. Hose reel works the same, obviously.
Nice.
Quick
Got this
connect.
guy with your high pressure ball valve on here.
Yep.
Put this on here so you can switch. You
Yep.
can use it to rinse. You can switch from a surface cleaner to your wand back
So
and
nice.
forth without shutting it down.
Yep.
Because on your pressure washer, we're pulling from the water tank, obviously, and then when you go into bypass, we just put it right back into the water tank. Right here, quick disconnect. There's your nozzles right there for it.
Okay.
You got all the fan widths. And then this is what's called a relaxed pull trigger. So it doesn't take hardly anything to hold it open, even under pressure.
Interesting.
So you
Let
can
me
run
see.
that dude all day long.
Yeah, it looks like a nice gun.
Yeah, they're Suttner.
Sutner?
Nice guns. Yep.
Does it have a model number? Is it like the Sutner XXL?
2305.
20,000. Okay. No fancy platinum.
That wasn't my doing there. Yeah, platinum gold standard.
Yeah.
Yeah. We left the gate on there because
Yeah.
you wanted it.
Well, it's nice because I could put some signage here if I wanted to. Hell yeah.
Down here. So this is your water feed hose. So it feeds this tank.
Yep.
You got a spot right back here.
That's the locking. Okay.
Yep, so you just
Hook right up to the
connect
garden
water
hose.
spigot. There's a float. So you just hook it up and turn it on and forget about it.
Yep.
All right. And
So that's how we get water into there, hook them right up into the customers.
yep. We've got a strainer over here that strains the water as it's going in. Okay.
What does that mean? Filters or?
It filters it.
Yeah, okay.
It's just a stainless steel.
Do you have to change that out often?
Just open it up and check
Rinse it out.
clean it off.
Oh, okay. Yeah, gotcha. Gets rid of big, large sediment.
Right.
Interesting. But you don't ever have to buy a new one, just more so clean it out unless
Typically
it's
not.
holy or anything.
I mean, after a few years, you might.
Sure.
Holes in it. This is your dump valve for the water tank.
Okay.
So you're not hauling around, say you leave a job and you got a full tank, you can dump it there. Or access to.
And that's just turning the valve over and it'll dump everything out?
Yep. Right here.
Now, is that suctioned or is it just it's at the bottom and
Gravity.
Yeah, gravity.
So
That's
it
what I
comes
meant.
right out of here.
Cool.
So you're not going to get every last drop of water out
No,
of it.
you never are. What kind of maintenance on these water and soap tanks as far as like cleaning them or just general upkeep? I mean, are you expected to clean them or is it, I mean, obviously it's full of water.
Your water's going to get some sediment in it over time. It might even get some algae in it. You can drop some bleach in it, that'll clean it up. Very little. That'll kill everything in it. But probably after a good season, you'll want to drain this, rinse it out, get it all nice and clean. Same with your bleach tank.
Okay.
Drain it, rinse it out, because you'll get some crystallization in the bleach tank.
Yeah.
And then soap tank as well. So you'll want to drain everything, clean everything
At the end of the year.
at the end of the year.
Not, you don't have to do it like every month.
No,
Right.
no, not at all, not at all.
Okay.
And there are guys that, down south, they run year round and, they go years without
Sure. Okay.
stuff out. But part of that is they don't have the downtime.
Right.
Now,
Always moving.
my question, and would there be a way to possibly set up, so we use, in window cleaning, we use pure water.
Yeah.
So we just put it like a DI tank. Is there a way to hook up a DI tank to bypass it to where when it comes out with a low TDS? Like, and if so, how would I do that, or
So-
where?
So you can do it, there's a couple of ways you can do it. There's a really simple way. You can just get a DI tank.
Yep, we have plenty of them. Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So what you would do is you could put a splitter on this,
Okay.
or a three-way valve, just like this.
Okay.
And so you would select either you want to feed this tank, or if you turn it another way, you feed your DI tank. And then you just force feed it through the DI tank and then out to your water-fed pole.
So I would have to split it right here. Where would I split it again?
Yeah, you put it right there.
Because this is connecting to the hose, or connecting to my water source, and then coming out here, and then I would split it right here.
You could decide, are we going here?
And then
or are we
mount-
going to the DI tank.
Tight, okay. And so that would filter it all out,
Right.
and then I would have pure water in there, and then everything that's going out of there is pure
Well,
water.
now, do you want to do, that's, I guess, good question. You want pure water in here, or do you just want the availability to run it through your DI tank? And
That's why you said it's split. Probably the availability. So, because I don't want to run it every single day, right?
Right.
No,
DI water, those things.
those things are expensive.
Right.
$125 to refill them.
Right.
If
right.
we're, that's what they charge
If you
me.
get into, where you're doing a lot of window cleaning or offering a pure water rinse, at least on the windows, you could look at doing an RO DI system.
Right.
And where you would have, say up front here, you would have another 50-gallon tank, it's for your pure water. And then you have an onboard pump, small pump, 2 gallon a minute, 90 PSI, that pulls from that tank and feeds your water-fed pole. Mm-hmm. Or your trigger to do a quick rinse.
That's what I want to do.
We set up a lot of systems like that. RHG, there's one in here, the Tucker guys, Colorado,
Yeah.
they make awesome stuff. They have a system that is a higher flow RODI, and it's a vertical, and it'll only take up about this much space.
So in that instance, if I wanted to put my pure water system on here and connect it all together, that means I would still put my three-way
Yep, you'd still want to have a way to divert the water from
going into here
to go
and then
here.
going into there.
Yeah,
And so then you'd have a system running into there, into the pure water system, and then you can just mount your hoses. Damn, dude.
you could stack another
So
rail
excited.
right on top of that one for your water.
Water-fed pole hose.
So this is your feed line for the pressure washer.
Yep.
And we've got another strainer here to keep
Sediment.
junk out of your pump. Keep junk out of your
No
pump.
joke.
This is a winterizer. So we did run winterizer through this pump
Okay.
and through the unloader. And there's a little bit in this tank because we shot it back in there. So
A little bit of water.
a little bit of
Winterizer.
yeah, biodegradable stuff. And it'll flush it out, or you can take this part off and pull the whole thing out.
Okay. Now, do I got to worry about that winterizer stuff in there, or will it feed out after my first couple washes?
First couple of washes will
Yeah.
be gone. Well, the first wash will be gone. Maintenance on this guy, engine oil changes, pump oil changes. After about 50 hours or a few weeks of good use, that's the break-in period. So you'll change the oil, service the engine, and change the engine oil pump, or change the pump oil.
Change the pump oil, change
Yep.
the engine oil, and then resurface the engine. What did you say?
Just service the engine,
service.
which will be
Service the engine,
yeah.
Don't kill it.
Yep.
which entails what? Like changing out any?
Change the oil.
Oh, yeah,
it.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay,
Regular small engine maintenance.
sure.
You got your battery there. It runs the key start on this guy and the remote system. The remote system, unless it's on, is the only time it uses power. And then when this is running, it maintains this battery.
Okay.
Yep, there's a little charge.
So I don't have to charge that ever.
Like a little miniature alternator.
But if it's going to be parked for several months, then you might want to put a trickle charger on the battery to just keep it good.
Okay. And then nice little ladder rack.
Ladder rack, you can store 2 ladders on there.
Cool. How do you change the oil on this? Is it pretty self-explanatory? Right here. This is. Oh no, that's the engine oil.
So there's 3 oils on this pump. Engine oil. This is your gearbox oil, and your pump oil. So for the pump, you suck it out of here. That's the easiest way, and then just add more. Just be
Literally, you don't have to. There's no drain plug.
right. That's the simplest way. And
How do you
That's a special kind of oil.
pump oil.
Pump oil.
Yeah, and then this does take gear lube.
Okay.
And then your regular
Yeah,
small.
Now with the oil, I mean, you said you about every 50 hours,
The break-in period. And then after that, it's twice a season.
twice a season,
Yeah.
for pump oil and engine
Every
oil.
time you check it, check it.
And then
On these small engines too, one thing I want to point out, you've got 2 engine oil spots. These
Yep.
are the same place. But on these, you can't overfill them. So you want to just fill it up to where
Starts to come out a little
yeah,
bit.
this one has a dipstick on it. But like,
yep, there it is.
yeah. So, and they both have oil shutdown too. So if the engine won't start, either one of them, that is the first thing to check. That it has enough oil in it. The first thing you do when you show up is hook up to the water.
Yeah.
Get the water going. Then you get your 1 or 2 hoses out, fire your pumps up, and you're going. I mean, besides you always want to do a quick walkthrough on
Well, yeah, no, yeah.
all that, the normal stuff.
No, okay. So we'll first pull up to the job, fill hose, immediately turn the water on. That's okay. Make sure your things are set at the appropriate. Make sure the hydro mixture is set at its appropriate settings, and then we could fire it up.
Yeah. Yep.
And then just the biggest thing is just don't let it not run for more than,
Right.
if you're not
10
pumping,
minutes.
Yep.
yeah, just don't let it sit running. And it's the same thing with the pressure washer, right? I mean, you don't,
Well, no, the pressure washer is different because we're bypassing back to this water tank.
oh, that's
You can let
right.
that pressure washer run all day long without pulling the trigger, and you're not going to hurt a thing.
Oh, okay.
Since this thing is winterized and darn near bone dry, when you first fire this one up, you're going to have this valve closed, and only run your water.
Okay. Why?
And
Just,
to help prime it.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of air in the lines.
Okay.
So
I see.
your hoses will flap around a little bit when they've got air in the lines, but
Yeah.
it'll quickly clear the air. And this might sound silly too, but when you are priming it, you want to have the wand open or the pulling the trigger, because it's not going to push anything out or pull anything in if the wand's not open.
Meaning press the trigger?
Yeah, pull the trigger. Yeah, or not even don't even have this connected.
Right.
Otherwise, every week or so, go around and make sure your hose clamps are nice and tight. Check. We use lock nuts and washers on everything, but with it being a mobile piece, things and wood floor.
Things wiggle around.
Yeah, keep an eye out for stuff that's starting to loosen up and tighten it up.
What are some common things that kind of come loose, but other than the clamps, anything else
Clamps.
that will wiggle around? I guess mainly your hose connections, right?
Yeah, that's really about it.
Yeah.
I mean, your high pressure stuff usually doesn't work its way, loose. Everything that's anchored to the floor. Just gonna give it a once over. 10 minutes with it every week or so goes a long, long way. Any leaks you get, fix them quickly. Whether it's a downstream, pressure leak or an upstream. This thing will tell you if you got a suction leak. It's going to tell you because you're not going to get the performance that you should. And so that's when you would start check these hose clamps. Check your inlet right here, your main inlet line. It's just make sure this union cap is nice and hand tight. This guy right here.
Yep.
So anywhere, since it's sucking right here, so you just follow it. Anywhere where it can potentially pull air instead of liquid, it's going to do that.
Sure.
Your union caps on your valves right here. These need to be just hand tight. So you just don't ever put a wrench on them, but just make sure they're nice and snug, which they are.
Why? Because they're plastic and you don't want to overthread them, or?
Right, man,
Yeah.
Talk about for a minute. So like replacement parts, like O-rings. Sometimes you pop an O-ring. Like other things that we need to have in our truck that would not make me screw.
You're right. 3/8 inch O-rings.
Okay.
1/4 inch O-rings for your nozzles.
Okay.
I'll get you some of those. Thank you, Kyle. Let's see. That's a few extra hose clamps. Never hurts.
Hose clamps. Oh, those. Yep. That's nice to have those.
They're useless.
O-rings, clamps. I mean, general things that it's like shit. Now I can't use this machine, or
An extra one of these.
extra wand.
Extra gun.
What about these connectors? These quick connects ever go bad, or?
Well, they will wear out over time, but it's not one of those things where, oh crap, it leaves
Yeah.
you dead in the water.
No.
Where you got to pack it up and leave.
Right.
And same for, if this guy takes a crap or has got an issue that you can't figure out, you can always finish up the job with the pressure washer at low pressure.
Sure.
So, but you guys know what you're doing there. So
Now, that brings me to the next question: is if I did want to downstream, could I?
yeah, there's not very much fuel on it anyway.
Okay.
But on the pressure washer, you can pull this plug, and then I've got a Winterizer hookup for you right there.
Huh.
That hose.
Okay.
So you hook this in, you unscrew this, screw that in, drop this into a gallon of Winterizer. You've got to close this valve.
Ah.
Right? So when you do that, you're going to make it suck from this port. Fire this guy up, pull the trigger, so you got it coming out the end.
No water. Water. No water.
We're not pulling.
That's the whole point of Yep.
We're pulling from whatever you drop this in.
Yep.
Which would be RV Winterizer.
Yep.
Pull the trigger. Once you got it coming out the end, release the trigger. Then that winterizes the low pressure side of this and your bypass hose. Let it run like that for a few seconds and shut it off.
That's nice.
And then on this pump over here, so once you've drained everything, right? You'll want to open all these valves, right? Once everything's drained, open these valves. Okay, so if there is a little bit of water left in it, it's going to give it somewhere to go.
Gotcha.
Expand. And then this guy right here, this line, you'll disconnect it here. Pull this guy off. You're gonna lay that down, let it drain out, and then right here is where you're gonna pour your winterizer.
Okay.
And then you'll pour it in. This will fill up, and you pull the cord, and it will go down. Fill it up.
Keep doing it till it stays full.
Yep, yep. And then what that does is that fills both of these manifolds full of winterizer. And you can disconnect this guy here. Just unscrews right here. That's your outlet to the hose reel. If you want to blow the hose reel out, that's the best way to do it, rather than filling, trying to fill the whole hose full of winterizer. Same with this guy. That's your bypass. Disconnect it, drop it down.
Let it drain out.
Yep. And when it comes next winter, or if you get this out and then you gotta re-winterize it, just call me.
Yeah.
I'll help you, walk you through it.
Maybe a dumb question, but how do you suck the oil out of that? What, usually like a siphon or like a
There's oil change.
suction thingies?
Suction, yep.
Yeah. Okay.
I use them on my boat.
Gotcha. And see these pumps going out? I mean, is it how long? How long are these gonna last? I mean,
Pumps don't go out. What happens is you'll get a leak. So this manifold is actually 6 small pieces. You'll get a crack or a leak in one of the pieces, and you pull. You got
the nuts.
2, 4, 6 bolts.
Yep.
And it'll come off, and they come apart. They're just like snapped together. There's 2 O-rings on each end, and you call me. You get a new manifold piece. Put the new one on. Snap it back together. Slap it back on. Off you go.
So how do you see those? That's what you say. Those manifolds are the first to go, usually.
Yep.
After how many hours generally?
Oh, we got guys that'll go full season, no problem.
Oh.
And then some will, every couple months.
Oh shoot. Okay.
It's more common on the outside though.
Okay. Yep. And how are you gonna know? One, your machine's not gonna.
It's gonna leak.
Yeah. It's gonna leak right at the manifold, right there.
It's gonna leak. It's gonna show you. Right
yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
And so it's as simple as taking off those bolts, taking the old one out and putting the new one in and slapping the bolts back in? How much are the manifolds? It's just a little plastic sheet, right?
It depends on these pieces here.
Is it
$20 to $40
okay.
on the piece.
Is that something, how quickly at the time I say I need a new manifold and I can get one, is that something I can just buy? Are they pretty simple, or do I have to go through you, or do I go to the manufacturer?
No, as long as you get the AR45, OEM parts, there is an aftermarket manifold piece.
Okay.
But no, they're readily available.
Gotcha.
Whether it's through me or somebody local.
AR-15?
45.
45.
Yep.
So AR-45 manifolds.
These kind of pumps are originally agricultural pumps for pesticides, herbicides, fertilizers. So if you have like a tractor supply, not tractor supply, but like a farm and fleet or an ag co-op locally, I'm not sure what your area is like, but a lot of them will carry these pumps.
Gotcha. So that's pretty common pump then?
Yep, sure.
And what is the pump? This whole unit, right? And
so from here over is the pump.
The pump, damn.
This is the gearbox.
Okay.
And then this is the motor.
Do you often have problems with the gears in there, gearbox? How much is a new pump?
$700 some dollars.
Okay.
That's complete.
And that's probably pretty easy to replace too, is it not?
Yep. What you would do is you would get it, if you wanted a complete pump, it would actually be gearbox and pump. And it just slides off the 3/4 inch shaft and slide the new one back on.
Where is it? This bolt right here? We'll take it off.
You have four Allen bolts right here. Two on this side, 2 on the other side.
Oh, easy peasy.
Yep.
And then obviously dismount it from here.
That's how.
And then you added these, right?
It's just sitting there. Those aren't even mounted. So the only part that's mounted to this platform is the engine. That's just resting there.
Oh, it is?
Yep.
And why is that? For a little?
That's just how they are.
Oh, I see.
Just, for vibration.
Vibration, yeah. When I started up, first time in the season.
Put some water in the tank.
Water in the tank, just blow everything.
Yep.
You said keep them like this for a couple minutes.
Keep them closed.
Keep them closed, and then when you're ready, yeah.
The water open, these 2 closed. Just play around with some with just running water.
Yeah.
And then remember, with your remote system, when it's off, you're pulling water through this valve too. So if you want to just run full blast water, light off, this open, this open. It's when you hit the light on button is when this starts pulling bleach. Make sense?
Wait, you kind of lost me there. So if so remote's off right now.
Yep. So if we, okay,
It's just gonna pull water.
water valve's open. If with the remote off, this is going to pull water through
Okay.
when it's open.
All right.
When you kick on the light, that's when this valve back here does its job and switches this from water to bleach.
Ah. And so you just close that off, close that off.
So that, but this is
Soap's
what,
open, it'll pull soap no matter what.
no, the light has to be on to pull soap too.
Oh, perfect.
Because yeah, if this were like this right now, it's still not going to pull anything.
Good.
Because this is a simple shut-off valve back here. Okay.
So I have to turn it on in order to use it by the remote.
If you want soap, you got to turn the remote.
Yeah.
And the indication on whether this is on is the light.
Yeah.
Correct.
What if this does this light do any warning signs of any sort or no?
No.
Like
It
blink
just-
red?